What's up, movie nerds and basketball geeks? Welcome back to Movie Ball. Or if you're here for the first time, welcome to Movie Ball. Or if you plan on never visiting again, thanks for stopping by Movie Ball. Movie Ball, Movie Ball, Movie Ball. On today's episode, I'm coming at you with my review of Good Boys. Sorry to all the basketball geeks out there. I know I'm doing 2 movie episodes in a row, but I figured my first official video was a 19-minute long basketball vid, so, that was a big fat one. And it's my channel, so I can do whatever I want. Also, I just want to dive into my rating system a bit for when I review movies, just so you're aware, if you care. Oh, fuck. My mom said when you're on YouTube, don't you swear. And I'm like, oh shit, Mom, you're right upstairs. I'm scared. Now I need another rhyme that could go right there. So my rating system is out of 10 with 0.5s in the middle of the concrete numbers, just because sometimes movies aren't deserving of that next number up, but sometimes they don't deserve the number that they're currently sitting on. So I just thought I'd be fair and put some little 0.5s in there. You gotta be in the middle sometimes. And I could rate anything from a 0 to a 10. So that would mean 0 being the absolute worst piece of dog shit I've ever seen, to 10 being me wanting to conceive a child with the director of the film, male or female. Good Boys was directed by Gene Stupnitsky. I don't know if I'm saying his last name right. I literally looked up how to pronounce his last name and I gave up after 10 seconds, but I think it's right. I think I'm saying his first name right. It's Genet. If you don't know, the premise for this movie is quite simple. A trio of best friend 6th graders get involved in some shenanigans and find themselves in a bit of a quest to their first party. It's super bad for middle schoolers. I'm just going to lay it on the line right now. Good Boys is the funniest film I've seen in years. Undoubtedly so when I really think about it, because the last movie to at least be on par with this in terms of the laugh factory has to be Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, which came out almost 2 years ago. I've been clamoring for a great comedy to arrive again because the comedy genre is far and wide my favorite category of film. Even most of the shitty ones, I can enjoy them if there's enough laughter in the film. If more than 50% of your jokes land, especially if they land hard, you've got me. I'm sold. Because when it comes to comedy, probably the most subjective area of film that there is, for me, in my opinion, the most important goal is being able to make me laugh. Now, you can have other objectives, of course, when it comes to making a comedy. You can have great characterization, a meaty story, themes, heart, a message of some kind. You can have all of that. But if you don't, all can be forgiven if you just make me laugh enough. And that's not how everyone views comedies, and that's fine. That's just how I see them. And when it comes to Good Boys, that's exactly what it does. 95% of the gags hit, and they hit hard. So the movie has already done its job and then some. Will it ever be a super bad? No, and it doesn't have to be, but there's a few reasons for that. First of all, Superbad is my favorite straight-up, purebred comedy of all time, and I don't think it can ever be cracked, mainly due to its constantly hysterical hijinks, incredible relatability, top-notch replay value, and dearly personal significance. For me. But a big reason that it may be hard for Good Boys to become a legendary classic is that it often feels like an imitation, copycat, mixture, or concoction of every coming-of-age comedy we've ever seen. And that's because it is. Which is fine. It's almost kind of expected with these repetitive genres of film, much like the horror slasher, in the case that it's been done so many times before that how do you kind of breathe new life and creativity into these categories? That's why when I examine these kind of subjective subdivisions of film, I try to view them for what their main goal is. Does the slasher slash well? And as I said with comedies, does it make me laugh enough? And in the case with Good Boys, it certainly does. But the other issue that kind of holds the movie back is that it's quite difficult for it to be as culturally meaningful for its similarly aged audience because most of them won't see the film until they're older. Good Boys' target audience is adults, people that have lived through these awkward preteen phases and can reflect back on how young and stupid they were, dumb, naive, and relate to this kind of mess. So that kind of tarnishes the universal appeal for the movie, as not everyone can instantly jive with it. But I could, and I'm willing to bet that anyone 17 and over probably will, especially if you lived in the cell phone or digital era. Even if you don't necessarily relate to this movie, the film still offers a constant stream of hilarious jokes. The 3 main kids are absolutely fantastic. I was pretty skeptical going into it because typically child actors aren't that great, especially when it comes to headlining a major studio comedy. But god damn, these kids have great chemistry together, and each of them kill most of their respective jokes. I'm hearing a lot of people say Keith Williams is the clear standout, and I wouldn't exactly disagree with that, but I truly think each one of these kids brings their own, and they're all very funny, all have big moments, all landing a number of belly laughs. So it's hard for me to kind of pick one over the other, but I can totally see where people are coming from when they say that Keith Williams is an absolute scene stealer. Since I already touched on one of the movies everyone's comparing it to in Superbad, and everyone wants to pit it against the familiarly themed Booksmart, I'll say this. Both films are well made and generally funny. Booksmart earns more of its emotional beats, whereas Good Boy's poignancy can sometimes feel forced and out of left field, but I don't think Booksmart was nearly consistent enough in the actual laugh department, and it occasionally felt like it was trying way too hard to show everyone how 2019 it was. I'm all for what you're going for and what you're doing, but you don't have to hit me over the head now and then with what you're trying to represent. It hurts getting punched in the fucking face. I would punch me in the face too. Good Boys doesn't do anything but try to make you laugh, and I laughed my ass off the entire way through. Sure, it may have prevented itself from being a juggernaut staple in the coming-of-age genre, and its more touching side is cute, even when it feels like more of an afterthought, but Good Boys does exactly what it sets out to do, and if you like to laugh, then I don't really see you having a problem with this one. I'm going to give Good Boys a 9 out of 10. I don't think we're going to get another comedy this funny for a long time, but I do hope it revitalizes the kind of rough patch the comedy genre has been in. That's the goddamn video, comment, subscribe, and smash that like button. We are talking tie that like button up to a fucking railroad train track so a 3 billion ton locomotive can drive through it with all of its force, completely annihilating it. And then kick it a little bit. Just give it a kick. Isn't it great that, I don't have ads on my videos yet? You don't have to watch them.